A very good afternoon to all of you. Am I clearly audible? Please mention in the chat or you can speak up. All right, Varun, thanks. Purvi, am I audible to you as well?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, so Vedic math is one concept which you all know is very much needed for calculation simplification. So how many of you have ever heard of this topic, Vedic math? Do you have a fair idea of what Vedic math is all about? Anyone? Purvi? Anything that you know about Vedic math? Okay, so let me tell you that then. Vedic math is basically some concept which is basically full of a lot of shortcuts. And why do we need those shortcuts? Obviously for calculation simplification. And obviously, why do we need for these competitive exams? Because it's very important for us to save time and be accurate at the same time. So whenever you are appearing for any competitive exam, please remember that it is a game of being accurate and being fast. So, what happens is normally when you talk about mathematical calculations, people struggle with taking these two things together. Why? Because when you try to speed up, you make some calculation errors, some silly mistakes happen there. And similarly, if you try to go a little slow and be very cautious about your calculations, then you lose out on your attempt. So, actually speaking, the major success mantra for your success is going to be that you are able to take the two things together. So, I repeat, you have to be accurate enough and you have to be very fast also. Unless and until you are able to manage both the things together, you will never ever be able to manage math part in your competitive exam. So one part is very clear that we have to be very good with numbers, very comfortable with numbers, and Vedic math comes to really support you in that sense. So Vedic math is definitely going to make you really comfortable with numbers because you start playing with numbers in terms of calculation simplification. So there are some tricks which are there in Vedic math. Unless and until you understand those tricks, you will not be able to understand the shortcut behind it, right? So, coming down to the topic is a very huge topic. So, if you would like to cover the entire Vedic math, it would take around a month or so. But, Savleen, please put yourself on mute. So, when you talk about the entire concept of Vedic math, it's going to take, I said, around a month to complete it. But we don't need that much. So, the amount of Vedic math calculations that you need for your competitive exams that you are planning to take, it's only a very concise part that you need. And I will be covering up a portion of that today, right? So, to start with, what are these magic tricks and how do you apply them? The first and the foremost concept is if you ever come across a number, say 9, right? And you must have heard of this shortcut somewhere being suggested by someone that if you ever come across a number like 9 in your calculation, can you tell me what should it be better perceived as? Anyone? It's very
10
easy.
minus 1.
Correct, Varun. Very good. 9 is always better perceived as 10 minus 1. It is going to make your calculations very, very simple. So, do you realize that what does Vedic math basically try to do for you? It tries to bring in a lot of zeros in your calculation. It will always focus on bringing in zero. And where are zeros hidden? In numbers like 10, 100, 1000. So, you will see that in the Vedic math basic concepts, you will always be revolving around numbers like 10, 100, and 1000. So keep that in mind. Every shortcut will have something to do with these numbers. So these are called as magical numbers 10, 100, 1000, and so on. Okay. So, Abhishek, I'll answer all those questions. Right. So let's just do the concept first and then we'll discuss about the centers and all. Right. Is that fine, Abhishek? Okay. So the first and the foremost thing is we have some magical numbers in hand. What are those magical numbers? 10, 100, and 1000. So all the shortcuts will basically focus on bringing these magical numbers into picture. So one concept which I just shared with you guys is that whenever you see a number 9 in your calculation, like here, you should always perceive it as 10 minus 1. Similarly, what should 99 be perceived as? Yes, tell me. What should 99 be perceived as? Abhishek, you tell me. Anjali, what should 99 be perceived as? Going on the same track. Correct, Abhishek. So 99 should be taken as 100 minus 1. Similarly, 9, as we have already discussed, should be taken as 10 minus 1. Here also, I have a 9 present here, should be taken as 10 minus 1. So when you apply this concept here on multiplication, so this is the first shortcut that we are discussing. That is, whenever you come across a number like 9, take it as 10 minus 1. When you come across a number like 99, take it as 100 minus 1. Apply that logic on these three questions. So what do you observe? 23 is supposed to be multiplied with 9, but I am treating it as 23 is getting multiplied with 10 minus 1. Do you realize what will happen? It will be simply 230 minus 23. So instead of a multiplication question, it has become a subtraction question. Clear to all of you? So what is the answer? It's like 200 is going to remain untouched. 30 will get reduced by 23, giving me how much? 207. So that becomes the first answer. Any problem with this part? Anyone? Now, whatever I have written down for you, this is for your understanding, but that's not how you should be actually doing it when you are practicing it. You have to do it orally, mentally in your mind. Otherwise, the beauty of applying Vedic math really goes away. Okay, if you're writing so much, then you're actually spending a lot of time. So for the first time, it is okay that I write down everything for you to make you understand. But then you should be able to manage this calculation orally in your mind. So please tell me any doubts with the first question? Keep interacting, only then I will get to know that you're clear or not. Abhishek, Anjali, Kapil, Purvi, Sarthak, everyone clear till here? Savleen, Varun, any doubts? Yes or no? Okay, so then go ahead and solve this one. So the logic is that 99 will be perceived as 100 minus 1. Let's try not to write down everything. Let's try to do it orally. So 25 is getting multiplied with both of them. What will it give me? It will give me 2500 getting subtracted with 25. Now, when you're doing these subtractions, have you ever noticed that when you come across a vegetable vendor or a shopkeeper, they are very quick with their calculations. They don't subtract it like, 2500 minus 25 is taking a carry forward and it is taking a borrow or whatever. No, they don't do all that. They quickly say that, okay, 25 needs to be subtracted from 2500, which means 2400 will remain untouched. This 25 will be subtracted from 100, which I have kept as a reserve for this subtraction. And that number will be 75. So obviously that 75 will appear here. So quickly I get to know that the answer is going to be 2475. Is that clear? So try to manage these subtractions the way you see the shopkeepers managing it. They are very quick with their calculations. So what they do is, I repeat the steps now. 99 is 100 minus 1, which was supposed to get multiplied with 25. So it becomes 2500 minus 25. When you are managing the subtraction, 2400 will remain untouched. This 25 will get subtracted from 100, giving me a 75. So the answer will become 2475. But please try not to write so much. Try to directly come from here to here, managing everything orally in your mind. Any problem with the second answer? Okay, so then I want all of you to try the third one. I want answers from all of you. You can speak up and tell me the answer, or you can write it in the chat. Quickly find the answer for the third one. Do it. Okay, so Varun's answer is 342. Sarthak's answer is also 342. Anjali, what about your answer? Purvi's answer is same. Abhishek's is also same. Anjali, you haven't answered. Kapil, how about you? Yes, Kapil, I'm still waiting for your answer. Anjali? Very good, Kapil. Anjali, are you there? Okay, so let's see how to solve this question. So 38 multiplied by 9, what will you do? Multiplied by 10 minus 1. So now let's try to do it orally. So it's going to be this minus this, right? A 0 put there and subtracted with 38. Now try to do that, what I suggested. Now, instead of subtracting 38, have you ever noticed how do these vegetable vendors subtract 38? They never subtract 38 because they know it is a difficult number to calculate. What they will suggest is, okay, I'm subtracting 40 rupees. So suppose you bought vegetables for 38 rupees. What will they say? I will subtract 40 and give you 2 back. Okay, so this is what is very beneficial for you also. But again, all this has to be done orally. Try to not write every time what you're doing. Okay, so instead of subtracting 38, what you do is let's subtract 40 and I'll give you 2 rupees back. So obviously it is going to be what? 342. So all these small tips are basically put together as Vedic math concept. Right? Okay, let's move ahead. Now the next number which is going to come into picture. So till here, what we discussed is the first shortcut, that is 9 is always better perceived as 10 minus 1. 99 is always better perceived as 100 minus 1. Now we are moving down to second shortcut. Second shortcut talks about a number like 5. What should 5 be perceived as? I have already given you a hint about what does Vedic math try to do. It tries to bring in magical numbers into picture. So how can 5 be written in terms of a magical number? Yes, Mohammed, I just saw your doubt. You should be applying this logic to all the kinds of calculations that you come across if it has a number like 9 and 99. Right, Mohammed? Okay. No, Varun, I have to change this number in terms of 10. So what should I be writing it as? I should be writing it as 10 upon 2. Correct? Similarly, if you come across a number like 25, how you should be writing it? It's like squaring both sides. It is going to be 100 by 4, right? Similarly, if you come across a number like 125, it's like you have taken cube on both sides. So it's like 1000 divided by 8. So this is what the next shortcut will talk about. I repeat, whenever you see a number 5 in your calculations, write it as 10 upon 2. If you see a number like 25 in your calculations, write it as 100 upon 4. If you see 125 in your calculations, write it as 1000 upon 8. Is this clear, everyone? The second shortcut's base is clear to all? Most welcome, Mohammed. Okay, so let's try to attempt questions based on this logic now. Now, this one is basically coming from that logic only, the older one, 99. This is based on the new concept. So quickly find the answer for this one first. This is based on the first shortcut. Let me see how many of you find the correct answer quickly. What is the answer for this? 99 will be perceived as 100 minus 1. So what will that give you? Yes, quickly find out the answer for 99 multiplied with 38. All of you try it. Very good, Kapil. That's the correct answer. And the first one to give the correct answer. Okay. So what was the shortcut? Very good, Purvi. Abhishek, you all are giving the correct answer now. So 99 should be perceived as 100 minus 1. Okay. So what does my calculation become? 3800 minus 38. And I just discussed with you, subtracting 38, you might struggle. So what is better is you subtract 40 and add 2 back. Now, when you're subtracting 40 from 3800, you know that 3700 will remain intact. From 100, when 40 is subtracted, I will get a 60 and a 2 more. So what is my complete answer? 3762. But whatever I have written for your assistance. But yes, all this has to be done orally. Don't forget that. Everyone clear with the first answer? Okay, now give try to the second one. Second one is having a multiplication with 5. And I just told you that 5 should always be better perceived as 10 upon 2. So it's like you are multiplying 28 with 10 upon 2. What does it become? It becomes half of 280. What is half of 280? Simply 140. That becomes your answer. But again, all this has to be done orally. Okay, so obviously orally will tell you that a 0 needs to be put and divided by 2. So quickly 140 becomes your answer. Same logic to be applied in the third question. Give it a try, everyone. 47 multiplied with 5. Okay, Varun has already answered it. So 47 multiplied by 5 means put a 0, divide by 2. Now when you are making something half, though I know it's easy to divide by 2, but again take this small tip. What is the half of 400? It is 200. What is half of 70? It is 35. So take it in a broken up method. Half of 400 is 200. Half of this 70 is 35. So it's going to be 235. The more you rely on mental calculations, the better you are placed in terms of accuracy as well as speed. Okay, so it is definitely going to help you out if you are avoiding to use those cancellation of two table and all those things and relying more on the logical calculation. So logical calculation says that this is what I'm doing. I'm taking half of 400, I'm taking half of 70. So it becomes 235. Okay, let's proceed ahead with the same logic. Quickly find the answer for these two. What should 25 be perceived as? I've already discussed that with you. What is a better perception for 25? It is 100 divided by 4. So what will this calculation do for me now? 3200 divided by 4, which is a very simple calculation. It gives you 800 as the answer. Very good. You all have given the correct answer. Go ahead with the next one now, quickly. Again, a very simple one to handle. Very good. So 5 multiplication with 48 might take longer time, but I know the shortcut is put a 0, divide by 2, which is simply 240 as the answer for the second one. Clear, everyone? Any problems still here? So we have practiced the first tip as well as the second tip. All right. Now let's move ahead. Now the same logic being applied on division. Okay, I have something being divided by 5. What will happen now? What will be the change? 24 divided by 5. But I already know Vedic math says 5 should be taken as 10 upon 2. Where will that 2 go now? It will be now here. So what is the shortcut being looked at? If there is a division by 5, instead of putting a 0 and dividing by 2, it is getting reversed. It is getting multiplied by 2 and a 0 here in the denominator. Okay, so remember, had this question been multiplication by 5, it would have said put a 0 here and divide by 2. If this question is like 24 divided by 5, the reverse thing will happen. A multiply by 2 and divide by 10 will happen. Okay, so this is what you need to remember as a shortcut. So this logic is coming from division, which is going to give me this answer, which is 48 divided by 10, that is 4.8. Very good, Kapil. Your answer is correct. Got it, everyone? Any doubts with anyone? Okay, now quickly do the second one with the same logic. 360 divided by 5. What does that mean? This number will be multiplied by 2 divided by 0, which means 36 into 2, which is 72. Very good. You all have given the correct answer. Okay. So the logic is clear now, I think. So 9, 99, all those is clear. 5, 25, 125, that concept is also clear to you. Okay, now let's move on to the third logic of Vedic math. Third logic of Vedic math is a very interesting one. It helps you to find squares of numbers which are little less than 100. Why am I using the word little less? You will just get to know. So suppose I am interested in finding square of 98. Okay, 98 is very close to 100 and I'm interested in finding square of 98. The logic is very, very simple. Shortcut says that, okay, I'm trying to square 98, which is less than 100. By how much? It is less than 100 by 2. This number is going to play a very vital role. What you will say is, what is square of 2? Square of 2 is 4. But please remember, I have to write a two-digit answer. Okay, I repeat, I have to write a two-digit answer. The square of 2 is 4, but I will write it as 04 because I'm interested in a two-digit number here. And I'm putting a comma here because here what I have done is I have taken square of 2 as a two-digit number. Here, something else is going to happen. On the left-hand side, what will you say? 98 was less than 100 by 2. Let's further reduce it by 2. Okay, so 98 was less than 100 by 2. We will further reduce it by 2. What will it become? It will become 96. And this is the answer for 98 square. Okay, 98 square is nothing but 9604. I repeat the shortcut. So the shortcut has two parts. One is on the right of the comma, one is on the left of the comma. On the right of the comma, what are you doing? You are thinking of 98 is less than 100 by 2. What is square of 2? It is 4, but I will be writing it as 04 because you always need two digits here. On the left hand side, what you do is 98 was already less than 100 by 2. We make it further smaller by 2. That means 98 minus 2, which is 96. This becomes your answer. But please remember, having two digits is important here. On the left, it doesn't matter how many digits you have. But here, it must be only two digits. Any problem? Any problem with this answer with anyone? Is the shortcut clear to all? Yes or no? Okay, then give this one a try. Find out 97 square. Quickly do it. Let me see how many of you find the correct answer for this. Find out the square of 97. Think of what is 97 less than 100 by, and that number will play a very vital role. Okay, very good, very good. That's correct. So 97 is less than 100 by how much? It is less than 100 by 3. So 3 is going to play a very vital role for us. Okay, so 97 is less than 100 by 3. So what is the square of 3? It is 9, but I am going to write it as 09. 97 minus 3 gives me 94. So this becomes your answer. 97 square is nothing but 9409. Now, a problem that can happen, that might come to you as a doubt, is that what happens if I don't have a two-digit number here, but I have a single-digit number here. So we have rectified it by putting a 0. Suppose I have a number which is already giving me a two-digit number as a square. Something like I have 96 square. Okay, can you tell me what will happen for 96 square? You will say that 96 is less than 100 by 4. Okay, what is the square of 4? It is 16. Good enough. I don't have to put a 0 because it is already giving me a two-digit number, right? Now, 96 subtracted with 4 gives me 92. So this becomes the answer. So if you are already having a two-digit number by squaring it, then you don't have to put another 0. Is this concept clear? So obviously we have discussed about if you already have two digits, good enough. If you have just one single digit, put a 0. But can you realize that there is one more situation possible? I might have a three-digit number here. Okay, so suppose I have to square 88. Now what will happen? 88 is less than 100 by how much? Solve it with me. 88 is less than 100 by how much? Yes? 88 is less than 100 by how much? Yes, correct, Varun. 12. Now, this number will play a very important role. What is the square of 12? What is the square of 12? 144. So here I have 144, right? On the left hand side, 88 subtracted with 12. What does that become? 88 subtracted with 12. What does that become? Correct, 76. But can I stop here? No, of course not. Because it is violating one rule. What is that? After the comma, I was supposed to have only 2 digits, but now I have 3 digits. So what to do? Basically, all you have to do is this leftmost number will go here and get added and it will be removed from here. So the answer will not be 76144. The answer will be 7744. Okay, so this one gets removed from here and gets added on the left hand side, making the answer as 7744. Clear, everyone? So 88 square is nothing but 7,744. Any doubts? So the summary is that you can come across 3 situations. What are those 3 situations? If after the comma you have only one single digit, then you put a 0 there and put that single digit here. If you already have 2 digits, good enough. If you have 3 digits, then this digit will go there on the left side to get added and gets removed from here. Are the 3 situations clear to everyone? Yes? Then I'll give you a practice for this. Okay, let's take up a practice for what you have learned. Find out the square of 98, 91, 88. Out of these 2, we have already done. Okay? So basically, this is the one which is left for you. Quickly tell me the answers. Try to do it again now by yourself. Okay, so the first one is 9604, correct? What about the next one? Correct, Abhishek. Purvi has answered for the next one as 8281. And third one is 7744. That's just we did. Okay, so this is the one which I have not yet explained. So 91 is less than 100 by how much? It is less than 100 by 9. What is the square of 9? Square of 9 is 81. So I have already 2 digits, nothing to be done. 91 subtracted with 9. Do that what vegetable vendors do. 91 subtracted with 9, it is better to subtract 10 and add 1. So it's going to be 82. So the answer is 8281. Any problem with any of the 3 questions? Clear to all of you? So this is the third concept that you have understood, how to square numbers which are little less than 100. Now, a similar concept is for numbers which are more than 100. But before we go that, this is one practice for you. Quickly find the answers for all of them. Do it. They all are less than 100. It's a practice for you guys. Keep finding the answers and write it in the chat because I want to see how fast you have become now. Okay, so Purvi and Sarthak have answered the first one as 7569. Very good. Next one. Yes, quickly find the answer for the next also. Are you struggling with 16 square? Okay, let me help you out there. 16 square is nothing but 256. Next one is using 19 square. Still a problem? So 19 square is 361. Next two are simple. Okay, so Kapil has answered 7056 for this one. Sarthak has also answered the same. Varun's answer is also same. Next one is 6561 as answered by you guys. Correct, very good. How about the last one now? Okay, Varun and Kapil have answered it as Varun. I think it is a typing error. Just check your answer. Correct, Sarthak. So these are the answers. Let's quickly look at the answers. 87. So 87 is how much less than 100? It is less than 100 by 13. What is the square of 13? 13 square is 169. But I can't have a 169 on the right. I will have to take this one on the left side. But before that, 87 needs to be subtracted with 13. Okay, that gives me a 74 here. But this 1 comes here, making the answer as 7569. So that's how we got the first one. Okay, now let's look at the second one. Second one was 84 square, which meant 84 is less than 100 by how much? It is less than 100 by 16. So I needed 16 square for that, which is 256. But I know that this 2 will be taken on the left hand side. But before that, 84 needs to be subtracted with 16. So I know that when 84 is getting subtracted with 16, it's easier for me to say that let's subtract 14 first and then I'll subtract 2 more. Okay, so when I'm subtracting 14, I'll have a 70. Subtracting 2 more will give me a 68 here. But this 2 comes here, making this number 70. So answer becomes 7056. The third one, 81. 81 is less than 100 by how much? 81 is less than 100 by 19. What is the square of 19? It is 361. But this 3 will go on the left hand side and get added. But before that, 81 needs to be subtracted with 19. But isn't it easier that I subtract 20 and add 1? Okay, so subtracting a 20 will make it 61. Adding a 1 will make it 62. But this 3 will also come and get added here, making the answer 6561. Now 96 is very simple. For 96, what you will say? When you are squaring 96, you will say 96 is less than 100 by 4. What is the square of 4? It is 16. 96 subtracted with 4 gives me 92. Quickly, you get this answer. 92 square, again quite simple. 92 is less than 100 by how much? It is less than 100 by 8. So 8 square. 8 square is 64 and 92 needs to be further subtracted with 8, for which I can again say that I will be subtracting 10 and adding 2 back, which is easier for me. So the answer becomes 8464. Okay, all the answers are clear. Now what you also realize here is remembering such squares is very, very important. So a task for you to do today is that try starting to learn the squares of numbers. So first give yourself a target that you will learn all the squares up to 25, then extend it to squares up to 30, then extend it to squares up to 35. That's it. Okay, so try give yourself a target of learning all the squares up to 35 because that's going to really help you and that will make you very fast in your calculations so that you're not struggling with squaring numbers like 16 and 19. Okay, so definitely this will help you out in calculations and start giving yourself a target and keep revising it. It's not that you learn few squares today and you will remember it forever unless you keep revising it. All right, any problem with this slide? Any doubts still here? I hope you guys are enjoying solving these questions and finding the shortcuts, magical way of solving them. Are you enjoying it? All right, great. Let's move ahead. So next is going to talk about, we just discussed how to square numbers less than 100. Now let's discuss how to square numbers more than 100. So now I will be taking a number which is little more than 100 and I need to square that number. So let's take a small example like I'm squaring 102. Same logic, with few changes that will happen. Okay, the complete replica of that will happen what you were doing for numbers less than 100. Now you will say that 102 is more than 100 by how much? It is more than 100 by 2. This number will again play a very important role. What is the square of 2? It is 4. But I will be writing it as 04 because the rule still remains the same. After a comma, I'm supposed to have 2 digits. But on the left hand side, you were subtracting. Now you will be adding. So 102 is more than 100 by 2. Let's further increase it by 2. So it becomes 104 here. So the answer will be 10404. Is that clear, everyone? So the only change is that on the left hand side, you were subtracting when the number was less than 100. Now, when the number is more than 100, you're increasing it. Is that clear? Yes. Now here also 3 rules will come up. If after the comma I have a single digit, I put a 0. If I already have 2 digits, good enough. If I have 3 digits, this will go and get added on the left side. Same rule that is to be repeated for this. Okay, let's try questions on this. So now this is what we are taking up. Squaring numbers more than 100. Let's take these 3 cases. Would you like to give it a try or should I solve it for you? Okay, I'll solve these 3 and then you solve the next page where the practice questions are. 103 is more than 100 by 3. What is the square of 3? It is 9, but we are going to write it as 09. Now increase 103 by 3, making it 106. This becomes the answer for the first one. Very good, Varun and Kapil. You both have given the correct answer. Okay, so the first answer is 10609. Now let's take the second one. 108 is more than 100 by 8. What is the square of 8? It is 64. I already have 2 digits, nothing to be done now. Increase 108 by 8 again gives me 116. So that's the answer for the second one. Okay, the third one. 113 is more than 100 by 13. What is the square of 13? It is 169. So this one I know will go there to get added. Before that, increase 113 by 13. It makes it 126. But this one comes here to get added and making this number 12769. So this becomes the answer for the third one. Any doubts with these 3 questions? Varun, Savleen, Sarthak, Purvi, Kapil, Deepak, Anjali, everyone clear? Deepak, you are not answering. I hope it's clear to you as well. Okay, so let's take the practice exercise for this now. Let's move ahead. Quickly find the answers for these. Okay, so Purvi has given the first answer as 11449. Same is for Varun, Kapil and Sarthak. Okay, very good. Go ahead and solve the next one now. Okay, very good, Kapil. 10404 for the second one. All right. 19 square I discussed with you in the previous slide also. So 19 square is nothing but 361. Okay, so Varun has answered for the next one. 11881. Varun, just check your answer. Okay, so 14161 is the answer given by Sarthak, Kapil and Purvi. Varun, Are you now getting the correct answer? Use 19 square is 361. Now for the next one, obviously you need 24 square. Okay, very good, Varun. So for the next one, you need 24 square, which is nothing but 576. Correct. So the answer for the next one, Kapil has given as 15376. Now the last one. Okay, 12769. Okay, so just quickly check your answers. First one is 11449, second one is 10404, third one is 14161, then 15376, then 12769. Okay, let's quickly look at them. 107 is more than 100 by 7. So square of 7, 49. Adding 107 with 7, 114. 102 is more than 100 by 2. What is the square of 2? 4. But I will be writing it as 04. Adding 102 by 2 makes it 104. Okay. Third one. 19 square, 361. But I know this 3 needs to be taken on the left. Increasing 119 by another 19 makes it 138. But in that 138, this 3 will also come here to get added. So making it 14161. 124 square. Square of 24 is 576. But I know this 5 will have to go on the left hand side to get added. 124 increased with 24 makes it 148. But this 5 will also come here to get added, making it 15376. So that becomes the answer for 124 square. The last one, 113. So for 113, you will say, I need square of 13, which is 169. So I'm writing it here. Adding 113 with 13 makes it 126. But this 1 goes there to get added, making it 12769. Okay, so that's how we got all the answers. Anyone has any doubts in this page? Any question that's a doubt? No? Okay, so then let's move ahead and look at the next shortcut. Next shortcut talks about multiplication of numbers which are close to 100. So I just give you a quick recap. First shortcut talked about numbers like 9, 99 and all. Second shortcut talked about numbers like 5, 25, 125 and all. Third shortcut talked about squaring the numbers less than 100. Okay. And then fourth shortcut talked about squaring the numbers which are more than 100. Now the fifth shortcut that we are coming down to is multiplication of numbers which are very close to 100. Something like, I want to multiply two numbers, 97 and 98. It's a difficult calculation that ways. Okay. Even if I write this one as 100 minus 3 and 100 minus 2, it will take some time. The better shortcut is given by Vedic math for such a multiplication. How do you manage it? First of all, you again notice that this 97 is less than 100 by 3. Now, for a less than situation, you will be writing a minus in front of it. Okay. So what I'm writing in front of this is 97 is less than 100 by 3. So I write 3 here. Now, because it is less, so I'm supposed to put a minus also. Similarly, 98 is less than 100 by how much? It is less than 100 by 2. So I write 2 here, but because it is less, so I write a minus also. This step is clear to all of you? Now what you have to do is multiply these two numbers. So when you multiply 3 and 2, what do you get? You get 6. But again, the rule is same here. This multiplication is supposed to give me a 2-digit number. If it gives you a 1-digit number, you put a 0 in front of it. Okay. So 3 and 2 will be written as multiplied together to give me 0, 6. Now on the left hand side, what you are supposed to do is take a diagonal calculation. 97 minus 2 gives you 95. And if I do this, 98 minus 3, again 95. It will always give the same answer whether you do this or you do this. And that answer is noted here. And this becomes the answer of their multiplication. Is it clear? Is it clear how we have calculated it? All right, so I repeat, in front of the number, you will write how much it is less than 100 or more than 100. So I'll go down to more than 100 case also. So in front of it, you will note down how much it is less than 100 by putting a minus. Multiply these two numbers and the answer must be a two-digit number, and then do a cross calculation. Both the cross calculations will give you the same answer. You are supposed to note it down here. Now, in this type of a question also, three situations can get created. If you already have a two-digit answer here, then it's good enough. If you have a single-digit answer here, put a 0. And if you get a three-digit answer, this needs to be taken on the left side to get added. Same three cases will come here also in multiplication. Any doubts, guys? Okay, let's take up questions on this. Now, for cases which are more than 100, the only difference is that you will put a plus. Everything else will remain same. So in front of 108, you will be noting down plus 8. In front of 107, you will be noting down plus 7. That's the only change. Okay, so how will you calculate 93 multiplied with 94? So the way to be calculating 93 multiplied with 94 is you will be writing a minus 7 in front of it because it is less than 100 by 7. You will be writing a minus 6 in front of it because it's less than 100 by 6. Okay? Okay, very good. You guys have already calculated it. Very nice. So when you are doing this multiplication, you will say that 7 needs to be multiplied with 6, giving me a 42 here. Now it is already a two-digit number, so I don't have to bother about putting a 0 or taking a carry forward. Whether you do 93 minus 6 or you do 94 minus 7, both are definitely going to give you the same answer. So that answer is 87. So the answer for this multiplication of 93 and 94 is quickly obtained as 8,742. Clear to all of you? So very good, Purvi, Varun and Kapil, you guys have given the correct answer for this. Now for this logic, I will be putting a plus here. Why? Because 108 is more than 100 by 8. So for more than situation, you will be putting a plus. Similarly, this is more than 100 by 7. Now, you will be multiplying 7 and 8. So you will be writing a 56 here. Now, when you do this cross, there will be addition happening. Here it was subtraction happening. 108 added with 7 or 107 added with 8. Both give me the same answer. So it's 11556. Very good, Varun and Purvi. You both have given the correct answer. Now let's try this one. In front of this, I put plus 11. In front of this, I put plus 12. Now, what is 11 into 12? It's going to be 132, right? But what do I do with that 132? I know this 1 will be taken as a carry forward. But before that, a cross calculation. 111 added with 12 or 112 added with 11. Both give me the same answer, 123. Okay, but in that 123, Varun, this 1 will go there to get added, making it 124, and 32 will be left there. Right, Varun? Got to know your mistake? Okay. Any doubts with these three questions? Right. So this is the shortcut of multiplication that we have discussed. Quickly apply the logic on these practice questions. Quickly do it. Okay, so quickly find the answers. Let me see how fast you find them. Kapil, that's a next level question. Very good question that you have come up with. It's a very genuine doubt. So that is also managed, but that's a next level. Okay, so I have deliberately not covered it here because it has two more steps to be done. But definitely we have a shortcut for that also. But good that you asked it. Okay, so you write a -2 here and -6 here. right? And then you write a 12 here. So 12, no need to do anything else. It's already a 2-digit number. So the answer becomes 9212. Very good. The first one is done by all of you. Okay, very good, Varun. 12096 is the answer for the next one. Why? Because this one is plus 8, this one is plus 12. Okay, right. Now for this one, it's a plus 11 and a plus 6, giving me a 66 here. And whether you do this cross or you do this cross, it's going to be 117 here. Very good. This is also correct. So 9212 for the first one, 12096 for the second one, 11766 for the third one. Okay, Kapil has answered for the next one as 8736. Varun? 8736. Look for your answer, Varun. This one is minus 9 and this one is minus 4, right? So giving me a 36 here. I think you made some mistake here. Now, when you are doing 96 minus 9, I've already discussed subtracting 9 might take longer time, but what you can do is subtract 10 and add 1. So it's like 86 plus 1, giving me 87. Varun, you got this rectified? Okay, so this one is plus 3, this one is plus 4. So this becomes a 12 here. Nothing to be done. It's already a 2-digit number. And this gets added with this or this gets added with this, giving me 10712. Check all your answers and tell me which one is a doubt. Any confusion? All right, let's move ahead then. So again, a quick recap. It's important to take recap, otherwise you tend to forget how much you have studied. So 999 was the first method. Then you talked about 5 and 25. That was the second method. Third method talked about squaring of numbers less than 100. Fourth method talked about squaring of numbers more than 100. Fifth method talked about product of numbers which are close to 100. So we have done 5 methods till now. Okay, 5 kinds of shortcuts. Now the sixth one is a very simple one. It's an extension of what you have done for 100 to what you will do for 1000. Similar logic, everything remains same. It's just that 100 has 2 zeros in it. So after the comma, I was always insisting that you will keep only 2 digits. When you are extending this concept to 1000, that means you are squaring numbers close to 1000. The only rule that will change is that after the comma, now you will say, I will retain 3 digits. Why? Because 1000 has got 3 zeros. So that's how you remember it. This is the only change that will happen. Okay. So what happens for 1000 is we will be taking numbers very close to 1000 for squaring, for multiplication. All the concept remains the same. It's just that after the comma, now you will be retaining, instead of 2 digits, 3 digits. Let's take one example. So I'm taking a squaring example first. Suppose I need to square 1003. So what will I say? 1003 is more than 1000 by 3. This is a very important number that will play a vital role. What is the square of 3? Square of 3 is 9. But now I will be writing it as 009. Okay, because I have to write 3 digits here. Now, because it's a more than situation. So for a more than situation, you always add it. And the left hand side will become 1006. This becomes the square of 1003. That is 1006009 is the answer. Any doubts? The extension is clear. So on the similar grounds, if you are squaring 997, what will you say? 997 is less than 1000 by 3. This 3 is again going to play a very vital role. What is the square of 3? It is 9. But how am I supposed to write it? 009. For a less than case, you subtract this number, making it 994. Is this clear? Both the questions are clear? Yes or no? So the square of 1003 is 1006,009. Square of 997 is 994,009. Any doubts? Okay, great then. So we can now just quickly look at this, the details of what all you need to do for your preparation. So we have discussed around 6 shortcuts today, and the conceptual theory part obviously will extend further. That's not the end of Vedic math, right? Now, because we are running short of time, so I'll quickly share the guidance that you need for preparing. So, first of all, I need to give you the clarity on what all you will be shared with when you join us. So, you will have recorded concept videos. Now, in these recorded concept videos, what you have is the concept which is to be understood for the logic to be applied in the form of questions is available to you in the form of recorded video, so that you can look at it at any point of time at and in any number of times you want, till the concept is very very clear to your mind, right? And these concept videos also cover some shortcut tricks that you need for solving questions. Like Vedic math has a lot of shortcut magic tricks. Similarly, the conceptual questions which come from quant or di or reasoning and every, even the verbal section, everything needs some trick, some shortcut to be applied. So those are explained to you in the form of concept videos. Then of course you have live lectures also, and obviously the live lectures will remain online till the lockdown is taken off, and then you will be joining your respective centers. But till that time you will be attending the classes online. Then you will have AI based national tests. Now these national tests are very very important, because when you're preparing for these competitive exams, you should keep in mind that testing yourself at regular intervals is very very important. Unless you do that, you will not be able to judge yourself, what is your preparation level, what needs to be done further. All those questions will be answered only when you are regularly taking these national tests. And the importance of national test is that is it gives you your ranking before you actually appear for the exam, because you get to know where you stand on the national ranking. So that's the advantage. And then of course you will be taught by senior faculty who have more than 15 years of experience. You will have full length mock tests. Again, the same importance as I was saying for national test. Full length mock test makes you realize that you need to strategize your preparation, in the sense that those topics which are really running out of your hands, you need to invest time on it. And the topics which you are comfortable with needs to be further enhanced. So all these guidance is provided to you, provided you are taking mock tests. So we will provide you with enough mock tests. You will be very comfortable after attempting all the mock tests, and you will be able to judge your performance very well. Then you have Telegram discussion group, which is very important help that is there for you, in which you can put up your doubts at any point of time you're studying, so that you don't feel stuck at any point of time. Okay, so you can always put up your doubts, and someone from our side will always be there to answer your doubts. So as I have already clarified this, classes are going to be online till the lockdown, and then you will be joining your respective centers. So Varun, I think you were asking me initially about the centers and all, which I will just share with you. And this is the link that I have kept in the on the screen that you can see, which you can further go through to find out more details. But what is better for you is this. So to find out about the respective centers, and to know about all the scholarships and the fee structure, and about the classes details, everything that you want to find out, to find out about the resources and everything will be clarified to you. And you can choose the respective center you are interested in. So somebody was asking about Yamuna Nagar. So the numbers are there on the screen. You can take a screenshot and you can call up at your respective centers. All right. Anything that you guys want to ask? Any clarity that you need from my side? Anjali, Deepak, Kapil, Purvi, Sarthak, Varun, anything that you want me to clarify? All right. So I leave you with this tip that whenever you are studying and whenever you are calculating, try to use the shortcut tips which you have learned today. Like if you come across a number like 9, take it as 10 minus 1. If you come across a number like 99, take it as 100 minus 1. If you see 5, take it as 10 upon 2. If you see 25, take it as 100 by 4. Try to apply these tricks in your day to day calculations. Only then they will really come to help you out. Otherwise, it will always remain as one lecture that you attended. Okay. Unless you practice it, it will not get into your mind with a practice kind of a concept, and it will never come as a habit. So keep practicing it whenever you come across calculations, whatever you have learned today, though you have learned a small part of Vedic math today. But whatever you have learned today, I'm sure you can definitely make a lot of your calculations simpler if you will follow the tips that you have learned today. All right. Anything that you guys want to ask before I end the session? Okay, then. So take care, all the very best. And you can definitely call up at the centers if you want to find out about, if you still have some queries in your mind which are left unanswered, you can definitely call up. All right. So see you all next time. Goodbye. Thank you, Purvi. Thanks a lot.